Game started.
MGB BHC. Okay, it's time for me to play C4, I think. Okay, knight f6, a good flexible response, waiting to see what my setup is. That's what I play myself as black. Okay, so black has a lot of choices here. You can go with the reverse Sicilian with e5. You can go with symmetrical with c5, and goes for the symmetrical. Gonna develop my knight and develop my bishop. So if I played my knight to f3 there, then this would be the four knights variation. But I have something different in mind. Yeah, this is a position where I can play e4 and get into a Botvinnik setup. And let's see, just knight to e2, continuing with that play. Okay, and the knight here also defends the knight on c3, which is convenient. So I'll just castle here. And play d3 here, so I can develop my dark squared bishop. Okay, so he went for a completely symmetrical setup, except for his knight is on f6 instead of e7. Otherwise, we have identical setups here. So I think, let's see, if I expand on the queen side, it kind of activates, I mean the king side here, it kind of activates his bishop. But my knight is covering that square. Yeah, let's go ahead and try this. I like the king side expansion when I can do it, just because I'm able to generate more threats against his king this way. So pawn takes, bishop takes, or knight takes. I think bishop takes to take a look at this weak pawn on d6. And then let's see, I want to unpin that knight right away. Do I? I don't have to unpin right away. It's not... oh, he's going to jump in here with his knight, I guess, so maybe I should unpin right away. And let's see, if I go to d2, then that opens up ideas of bishop to h6 there and trading off his dark squared bishop. Okay, so he just took. Yeah, I'm tempted to take with the queen because the knight, I'm thinking, wants to go here. But if I take with the queen, he gets a tempo with his knight hopping into e4, I guess. So that's a little annoying. d4, knight d4. So how am I going to get pressure on that b pawn? Maybe bring a rook over here to on that d pawn. Aha. Okay, first let's move my king away from this diagonal, where sometimes his bishop will show up here suddenly on d4. Very annoying. And see what he's doing here. Maybe I can play d4 here, kicking his knight. He takes, I take. I should defend my c-pawn first before doing that, and get my rook off of this diagonal. I should have considered that before moving that pawn. Where does the rook want to go? Maybe to... Okay, so my plan is to play d4 here. Then I should put the rook on the d file, I guess. Okay, so he's going to try and stop me from playing d4. So I think this is a good point to trade off that dark squared bishop. And let's see, his knight can hop in here, but I'm covering, knight to g4 to d3 would be kind of annoying, so I have to keep control of this diagonal here, or particularly the d3 square. He's looking there. So can I play, or do I want to play d4? Pawn to d4. Pawn takes, knight takes, rook takes. And I've got pressure on the d pawn again, and this pawn is well defended. I think I want to try it. His king looks a little more secure than mine, so there may be some problems in my position. And I'm dropping I'm dropping the e-pawn here. I thought it was defended by the bishop, but he's attacking it with the knight and the rook. And my little pressure on f7 there is not doing anything. Yeah. So queen here targets his knight and targets f7. Maybe that's a good reply. He just plays f5, I guess. Queen f4, pawn to f5. Yeah, I don't see anything good here. Well, maybe now queen f4. We'll try it. I just realized I also have this idea of taking on d6 after I get rid of the knight. Say if he plays f5 to defend. Bishop takes, rook takes, queen takes. He's got my knight. My knight is hanging there. That's not working either. How about in the other order? Bishop takes, rook takes, rook takes. He takes my queen, I take his queen. He takes my knight, I take his queen. Okay. He just defended everything. And I still have a problem with my knight. And actually I don't want to give up this bishop too. Bishop is an important piece. So trouble is I don't have any great square for that knight, do I? And no way to pressure his knight more that I can see. Okay, my idea is to play knight to g3. So I'm opening up that square for his knight, for my knight, by pushing the g-pawn forward. I just didn't like any of those other squares that my knight could go to. And the bishop, I didn't want to give up the bishop. Didn't want to just defend with the rook, because actually that rook is still under fire against the battery here, so it's a problem too. So he just retreats. Okay, so now at least I have a square to move my knight to. And yeah, his knight was hanging, but my knight was hanging too, and I didn't want his queen invading there. So, but now let's see. Can I do this? Rook here, queen takes, rook takes. Rook takes check. I block the check. Yeah, and his knight is defended by the king, so that doesn't work. Just thinking if there's a way to distract the queen here. Yeah, knight to one of these squares would be good. So can I play knight f5 here? That's a check. He takes. I come here, check. Yeah, maybe that works. Let's try it.
Check.
The thing is, after he takes, my check here
Check.
does not pick up the rook. I was thinking I would pick up the knight there. It's a tactic that doesn't work. Yeah, I forgot the pawn would be blocking that. So I was thinking I would have a rook and a queen looking at the king there. So let's see, if I trade queens, does that do anything? If I take the knight, queen takes with check. That's no good. Go back here. Well, I don't know. It looks a little bit interesting still, but I expect this is not it's completely bogus attack here. But he's going to find a move. Let's see. The check is tempting, but I've got it covered. Here, here, here. I have to avoid trying to pin his knight since it can move with check. He brings the other knight in. That's good, hitting my rook. But my rook comes forward, hitting his queen, right? So now I have a little something. I have 2 pawns. No, just 1 pawn, because he won a pawn earlier. Okay, so now he's threatening to come in here, but that is covered still. Queen and rook cover that. Check, rook takes, check, rook takes. So I can't quite mate him yet. I can take this knight. And I'm looking at h7.
Black resigned.
Okay, well that was a pretty lucky win there, but I will upload this into a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.